Wait for just 2 more minutes. Then I'm going to give you today's topic.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll be handing over to you your platform by just letting you know the topic of group discussion today, because this group discussion is nothing related to theoretical knowledge, right? Is it related to theoretical knowledge?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So if I tell you what all things you need to discuss in group discussion, and if I don't give you the practical topics, will that work?
No, ma'am.
It's all about practical thing. Okay. Okay. So here is your topic for the day. What's the topic?
I can't see, ma'am.
The screen is not visible.
No, ma'am.
Okay, just give me a minute. Now,
Yeah, now I can see. Impact of
impact of
COVID on the
Impact of
global
COVID
economy.
on the global economy.
yes, right. The impact of COVID-19, that is the coronavirus on global economy. That is the topic of discussion for you all today. Listen to the topic very clearly. Last time the topic was pros and cons of e-learning. This time the topic is impact of COVID-19 on global economy. Okay, don't misunderstand the topic. Every time it's not going to be positive, negative, pros and cons. Okay, you need to understand the topic before starting the discussion. Now, before you start with the discussion, I just want you to understand few things. Always start by explaining what is this. Okay, if I'm talking about COVID-19, you can start with the origin, from where it started, when it started, what happened with this. Then you can come to the main topic of impact of COVID-19. Don't suddenly just jump onto that topic. Okay, at least make the atmosphere, create that atmosphere. The person who is going to take the lead to explain this, that person is going to show the leadership quality. Along with that, that person is giving time to others to think about what all points they can come up with, right? Because till the time you'll be explaining about COVID, about all these things, how it started, what was the origin, from where it originated, till the time others can prepare. Now you'll be worrying that, ma'am, if others are getting time, what about us? Here you have already taken the stage. Okay, now till the time others discuss about this, you will get the time to prepare your topic, right? You will also get the time. Don't think that if I'm going to be the beginner, if I'm going to start first, then what about me? Others are preparing, I'm speaking. Then what I'm going to present on my topic? You'll get the time till the time others are discussing. So yes, the impact of COVID-19 on the global economy. Come on, this platform is all yours. Let's come up with some fruitful discussion. Start.
So, yeah, today's topic is COVID-19. What was its impact on our global economy? So we all know that this COVID has come from China, Wuhan, which has the biggest virusology center in world. So because of that, we have faced a lot of economical issues in our past days. Like there were like a lot of in like companies were gone down in losses. So what do you guys think? What are the impact they have made on our global economy? Like apart from this, like what are the ways it affects the economy than the industries and companies? What your views say?
Okay, for me,
Guys?
I think that this the impact of COVID-19 on global economy was very bad, because due to this, many people lost their job, and the informal sectors, like where the people need to be on field to work, those jobs were impacted badly. Unemployment increased, and there was, yes, when the unemployment increased, people were not having the paying capacity. Yes, it was a huge setback for the economy. What
And
about
yeah, it's just not about when this COVID-19 has come from China, and just it's not that China hasn't get much affected. It has been affected a lot because of this COVID. Because the project of the GDP growth of China has reduced to 2.4%.
oh,
And there are many other countries whose GDP is have been going down. Like Italy has -3%. So what do you guys think about this GDP? Like, how can we just make it more better in the time of COVID?
Okay. Yeah, Balmukhan, I'll correct you. We are not going to talk about how to make it better at this point because this is just one impact we have discussed that many people
Okay.
have lost the job. You need to
Okay.
discuss about many other impacts which happened. Along with Balmukhan, Khushi, Shashidhar, uh, Apaswamy, Indumati, please speak. This is group discussion topic. You all need to come up with your point. What is the impact? Right? Yes.
So, guys, what are the ways through GDP has been impacted? Anyone, any idea about it?
Yeah, like GDP is based on the, like how our income and employment generation and all is going on. So
Yeah.
there was like lack of employment, like everyone were uh, what to say, like they lost their jobs and all, and the circulation of money was stopped. There was no exporting and importing. So due to this, the GDP automatically like it automatically get reduced, right?
Right.
So,
So
is
2 points
that
we
just
have come across. First is that the import and export stop. Very good, Khushi. The point was very good. And second was the loss of job along with the impact on GDP. Okay. Now, these are the effects. Along with that, what do you think the major investment, the major fund went during this pandemic? Which is that area where, due to which we were, all the countries were overburdened. They were forced to take heavy loans to establish something. What was that?
Yes, ma'am. That was for beds and all, like
Yes, medical
yeah, medical
infrastructure.
infrastructures and like manufacturing that PPT kits and all, and medicines, etc. There were many things to be like supplied to the patient. So in that case, the money was like spent too much.
Yes, right. So, in the health sector, health sector, care sector was hit very hardly, and the expenditure which the countries have incurred, many countries have incurred, it's a big burden for all the countries. Okay, Charan and Bashir, you have joined right now. I have given you a group discussion topic that is the impact of COVID-19 on world economy. So, for that, we have discussed 3 points. Okay, why am I explaining? Any one of you take the platform and explain to the two new people who have joined right now that what 3 points we have discussed and what are their views.
so, guys? We have discussed about how it has been affecting the global economy. This was the topic today, which we are discussing here. So I have put in my view that like how it has been affected the GDP and how it has been affected. So first point was the export and import, how it affected. Then the medical area where it has been like hit so hard in this COVID-19 and people are not able to manage. And yeah, these are the view from our side. I would like to know what you guys think. How more? What are the ways it has been affected?
Yeah. Apswami, Shashidhar, Bashir. I want all three of you to come up with your answer. It also affected on tourism, right? The impact was there on tourism. Few countries which are having good source of income just because of tourism. If we take the example of Bangkok, Thailand, that is the area where it is famous for tourism. They are having good income when people come. The tourism all of sudden stopped, so it was having a bad impact on the tourist sector, hospitality. Everything was badly impacted. What else?
So we all are talking about how it has been affected in other ways, like the GDP, the tourism, and what about the stocks and share markets? What
Okay.
do you guys think? How much it has affected that?
And even the education, ma'am.
Yes, education is really impacted. Okay. Here the
Yeah,
discussion went on. Wait.
even
Stop.
that's a point.
Stop. Stop. The discussion went on wrong, Kushi. already one question was being imposed by Balmukun about the share market, right? Stock and shares. So
Yeah.
when that question was open for the discussion, we are not going to bring any additional question in that time. Okay,
Okay.
we'll just wait for someone to end up that, to start that, to end up that, and then you are going to bring another question on table. Yes, in between, if we are mixing up the question, that means somewhere we are not working in a team. We don't show our teamwork, right? Because we don't listen. This is the listening quality which will give you negative marking, that this person is not listening. It's just mind is running with what question I'm going to bring next on the table. Yes, so that we are not going to do. Okay. Now the
Okay, so
question.
can I continue, ma'am?
Yes, continue.
Yeah, so anyone of you can tell me about the share market, how it's going in this COVID, how does it impact it? Anyone?
Okay, so earlier the impact was bad. There was huge losses. The share market crashed very badly. But now, if we see the trend, it is again catching up. It's again going up. Now, it crashed.
And
You
yeah,
know,
the job see, yeah,
you
carry on.
not just that thing. You know, even along with the share market, there are so many other things which were badly affected just due to the restrictions of on traveling. You know, the demand of fuel, where
Yeah,
just as soon as the lockdown was imposed, the crude oil prices suddenly came down. You know, in any past years, we have never seen that the crude oil prices are suddenly dropping down. It went very bad. It was affected very badly.
exactly. And many places it's been like the price raise in the oil, ma'am, due to shortage of it.
Yes, right. Okay. So yes, discussion
Yeah.
went on very nicely. You were coming up with the points, but not everyone was making them involved. See, here, you are learning the first step of involving yourself, entering into the group discussion. If you are not taking this as your opportunity, and if you think that by just listening you will get the knowledge, then no, you'll get the content, but how to present it is going to be a challenge. So I'm requesting all of you to please be a part of all the group discussion topics we are doing. This is the reason I always start the group discussion session with a topic, so that I can tell you which all things you need to keep in mind while you will be actually facing the group discussion in your life, even for your job interviews or for your higher education. Okay, so I'll just wind up the topic, that the impact of COVID-19, by saying that it has impacted the job industry, the unemployment increased during this, the consumption.
Hospitality.
Yes, the consumption slowed down. Due to this, the consumption of the things slowed down. Import and export was affected. Health sector was a hit hard because there was over expenditure, and that became a big burden for many of the countries. The movement of the people was restricted, due to which the tourism industry faced huge losses in the initial months of pandemic. Along with that, the prices of crude oil have dropped very badly. China, being one of the biggest exporter and the second biggest importer of merchandise as of 2019, you know, as soon as this pandemic started, many countries were completely dependent on China for the raw materials, such as pharmaceutical ingredients, automobile components, so many things. And due to this, the closure of China at the start of the pandemic, the production was on hold, and many companies were unable to get those things. It has affected very badly. Pharmaceutical companies, just one good thing which happened with the pharmaceutical companies, product manufacturing companies were, they were all benefited because everyone was rushing towards getting hygienic products, the sanitizers, the safety things. Everyone was rushing towards that. So the pharmaceutical companies and hygienic product manufacturing companies were the only companies which were benefited during this pandemic. There was no impact of pandemic on them.
And governments like around the world have been like spending like billions of dollars for COVID-19 vaccine for its treatment and all.
Yes.
And mainly Moderna, Novavax, AstraZeneca has been like, keep on rising at that time because it was in demand. Because like these are the medicine which can cure or we can prevent from COVID-19.
Right, right. Even just a small thing that eating this medicine, you may save yourself. You're going to build your immunity. People used to rush towards that and they used to buy it. So that ultimately pharmaceutical companies were benefited. And why the economy couldn't recover? There's one very big reason for the economy is that they couldn't recover. The reason was as soon as in some countries the first wave was settling down, all of a sudden in some other countries second wave started. And as soon the second wave was settling, as of now we can see that in India the second wave is settling down. But as if we are going to see the news headlines again in UK, US, the third wave already started. And we are hearing in India itself that yes, third wave is about to start. So this is again one of the reasons why the economy couldn't recover, because one country was settling down with the wave, second country was going ahead to again the restrictions, lockdowns again were imposed. So that is the reason we were unable to recover. The global economy was unable to recover completely, though it has been almost 1.5 years we have been living with this COVID. You see, this 1.5 years, don't you think it just passed in a blink of eye, right?
Yeah.
If we look back, it was just a few days back that we heard that there's one more disease named COVID, which has been detected in China, and we just have 3 cases in India. And see the ratio today. For 3 months, we were very happy that only 3 cases are there, and those are the cases of the students who have come from abroad. They are not from India. And see where we stand today. So this 1.5 years has just passed by. So this says that nothing is permanent. The economy which was going, which was having upward trend, all of a sudden came down. USA, anyone ever have thought that the economy of USA is going to be impacted?
It was like hard to believe that.
Yes, China, USA, they are the leaders, they are the world leaders. And
exactly.
They were affected badly. So this is nothing is permanent, everything keeps on changing. There's one thing, only one thing which is permanent, that is till the time you are living, you are breathing. Yes, you even lost your college life. You're right.
Yeah, that's true. And last year, when in March or something, when World Health Organization has like like finally said that it's a COVID-19 as a pandemic. At that time, it was like 3 million cases, and there were like some 2 lakh people have died from like 213 countries,
Yes.
and including territories. And the infection has been spread like anything in just a blink.
Yes, right. So see, students, these type of topics you will be getting for your group discussion. The current affairs, whatever is going right now, whenever you go for group discussion, make sure that whatever things are happened in last 6 months or has been happening right now. Most probably you will be getting questions related to those only. Right? So make sure it's somewhat, yes, Khushi, you're saying something?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So yes, it's always good to be prepared with the current affairs. Okay. Yes, so let's start. Now today we'll be talking about the individual skills which are being assessed when you are going for group discussion. You might be thinking that, ma'am, so many people will be speaking. So how they are going to assess the individual skill? How they are going to test our individual skills? Can you tell me how they test your individual skills? What are the individual skills which are being tested when you go for group discussion?
Your like a way of taking the lead in the discussion.
Take the lead. So this is somewhere we can call it as leadership quality.
Yeah, and having a knowledge about what's going around, that can be a benefit point in the group discussion.
Okay, right. Others, please
And
respond. It's not just Balmukund who is there in the class. I think all of you are also listening.
coordinating with all the member in the group,
Coordination, right?
and asking them about like how it can be done, or what's the way, what's your view, making them interested in it, in the group discussion,
Okay, giving
involving
them
them.
an open platform to start with.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, others? No one? Okay. So we are going to talk about the individual skills that are tested in the group discussion. Those sets like enthusiasm, your reasoning skills. Yes, reasoning skills play a very important role. Why? We'll be discussing it. Your decision making, creativity, your fluency with the language. Now, when we talk about fluency, people think fluency means speaking very fast in the proper language. Fluency means your words should be very much clear, point to point, with proper pauses, proper tone. When we just want to speak, we speak so fast. For us, fluency means speaking in one go. You just simply become Shatabdi Extra. You just want to run up with whatever thing is coming in your mind without even thinking that the other person is understanding or not. The way I am doing right now. I'm just speaking in just one breath that I just want to finish off my content. That is not fluency. Fluency. Okay. Fluency is something where you are speaking proper words, proper structured sentences. Along with that, you are speaking with proper pauses, stressing, tone, which is used in while speaking. Okay, that is fluency of speech. Fluency, the hold on the language. That you don't, at times we hear that people, this long, till the time, what the other person is doing is just thinking what I'm going to speak next. This should not be done. You think that is just going to be in continuation. No one is going to realize that we have forgotten something or we are thinking something. But honestly speaking, each and every person listening to you understands that this person has forgotten what he's supposed to speak next. So that should not be done. Mistakes, your voice, your communication skills, your content, your initiative. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about communication, I'm talking about fluency. Along with that, I'm talking about content. People speak a lot. After coming out of group discussion, they say, I don't know why they didn't give me good marks. I was speaking continuously. I was the part of the conversation. I was the only person who was speaking after every 1 minute. Okay, that's okay. You were speaking about after every 1 minute. But were you speaking the content related to the topic? Were you having the right reasoning skills? Was the content related, directly related with the topic? Those things were not there. Then
Yes,
your
ma'am.
speech is of no use. I have called you to give me a speech on Independence Day and you have prepared a speech on Republic Day. What I'm going to do with that? No matter how good you have spoken, but it's not related, it's not topic related. It is something like the festival of Diwali is coming and we are bringing colors to celebrate Diwali. It is exactly the same way. Okay, so that should not be done. It should be related to the topic which has been given to you. Okay. So first, that is reasoning skills. Reasoning skills. The panelist. Now, panelist here, single person is not assessing you. You have cameras. You will be seeing, oh, no one is sitting around. We can sit in any way we want. We don't need to concentrate, but make sure the cameras are adjusted with such an angle that each and every one is being observed by the panelists, the group of panelists who are observing you. They have not called you for doing any kind of time pass. Neither they nor you have so much of time that you are doing something and they are least bothered about that. No, both of you have given time, so both of you need to be you need to have some output, some results by the end of this. So the panelists check how much a participant is right in his or her logical skills. Now, when you are giving the reason, it should be related with the facts and figures. As Balmukun, you were talking about GDP. So the best part was you just simply didn't came up that GDP has gone down. You gave us the right figure, that this shows that you have the knowledge. You know what happens? We all know this pandemic has affected everything, right? Everyone knows that. So giving a generalized statement saying that the GDP has gone down, the prices have gone down. You know, the statement which I gave, the price of the crude oil has have gone down, right? Now, if I would have told that the prices of oil have gone down, then which oil? I gave the specific term that especially the crude oil was affected. We always give the specific term. So that specific term along with the specific fact and figure should be given when it comes to reasoning skills. No, they also check on how good you are in supporting the standpoint. It's not just always about presenting your point, it is always about supporting the point of other. If you think that the other person is also speaking something related to what I was about to speak, you need to support that person. Be a supporting hand instead of just not supporting, just coming up with the point. Add your point to his discussion. So they also judge that how much supportive you are, how you respond to other participants. There are some people who simply become very aggressive. You know, as soon as they know that the other person is not accepting our views, the person becomes aggressive. No, don't be aggressive. You know, we all are individual, having our own mind, having our own perception, having our own thoughts. So you all need to focus on those and don't overreact, don't shout, don't raise your voice to prove yourself right. When a person is right, he or she doesn't need to raise the voice. Only the facts and figures and the points he's speaking will help the person to prove him or her right. Now, they also see the weaken and the strength of the arguments in the discussion, whether the discussion was very weak, whether it was just a generalized discussion or the discussion was very strengthful. There were some good points which were being brought by the people in the group discussion. So they observe all these skills, all these things under reasoning skills. Communication skills. Now, if I talk about communication skills, in communication, one thing is very clear, that you need to be clear, specific, precise while speaking, right? That should be there. Okay. The first point says that participants present their views on the given point. The presentation should be only related to the topic which is given, not with the generalized term that yes, you have read the term COVID-19. So you are free to say anything. You're free to say that due to COVID-19, we were unable to go out. We were stuck in the lockdown. We were unable to have outside food. Understand the topic. Topic says impact of COVID-19 on world economy. So you have to discuss your point as per that. Second, the language used should be simple so that everyone present in the discussion can easily understand. We get so much excited to present our views that what do? We simply use some fancy words in the discussion, which hardly people understand. Okay, just to prove ourselves that we know, we have just read the dictionary and we know so many fancy words, we are going to use those fancy words. Fancy words, abbreviation, short forms, we use those things. Don't use those things because maybe at times it's difficult for other person to understand. You know, years back when we started using for your information, FYI, right? This is what we are using. for your information, FYI. Yes, while we are writing the mail, we use this. Many people don't know, right?
I don't know, ma'am.
I don't know, see? Okay,
Yes,
don't worry, Balmugun, I was also one of them. As soon as I started drafting business mails, I got to know that it is for your information. So when you are speaking, make sure you are not using such terms which are not understandable by all the people. Okay, it should be very clear. Here, no one is judging your dictionary. Okay, they don't want to see Oxford dictionary in you, having so many fancy words, good words, big words. No one is seeing that. They just want, okay, now when I'm saying simple words, that doesn't mean that if you want to use the word delicious and you are saying very, very tasty, ma'am. There's a difference between using fancy words and vocabulary. Vocabulary should be good, but fancy words should not be there. Vocabulary is simple to understand. Okay, vocabulary, good vocabulary should be used. Okay, so make sure that when you are speaking, you are not using any type of fancy word and you are keeping the conversation easy to understand and for other person to discuss on that topic. Okay, many times it happens that we say some things which are of no use. For example, like Balmukun bought that share market. Honestly speaking, the person who don't know about share market, I am one of them. I'm not interested in share market. So it's very difficult
I'm
for
not,
me.
even I'm not interested.
Okay,
But
so it's very, then
I'm
Balmukun, you
interested.
should have not got that. If you don't know, you know, if you're bringing something on platform, on the open table.
that's professionally, ma'am. I just knew like somewhat of share market. So yeah.
Okay, not somewhat. See, whenever we are bringing a point on table for discussion, that means you should be well prepared with that point. Okay. So it happens, you know, that's why the discussion didn't go long for share market because the person who presented the point was having little information. I just wanted to support that. I just wanted to support that conversation. So again, I was having little information. We stated that and it was done. Right.
Now we can say lack of knowledge about share markets, ma'am.
Lack of knowledge about share market, yes. So we are not going to bring those points in the on the table. We ourselves are not going to initiate those points. Okay, if other person is bringing, that is fine, right?
So
Just
like
assume, Balmukun, just assume if I wouldn't have supported that, you were being forced to explain that. Were you having that content to explain? No,
no.
that would have been just a general statement.
Yeah, and ma'am, is that like important? Like whatever points you create in a group, that should be like knowing to everyone. Is that important?
No, see, whatever points you're discussing, everyone may not know. So that is the reason I'm saying, if you're putting up any point on table, you should know that thing. In case, if no one is answering, in case if no one is being a part of the discussion, so you can again take over the platform. Okay, yeah, let me tell you that yes, these things are there, like this thing was affected, so you should have those speakers. Okay, when you put up a question, you should be ready with the answer too. It's not just about putting up the question, it is also about being ready with the answer if no one is coming on the table. You know, the question should not be left open and we are jumping on the next question, putting that question on the table. That should not be done. If we are jumping to next question, if we are bringing next question on table, we are going to keep the first question aside. And yes, as you know, when we were just winding up, I spoke all the points which were being discussed in the group discussion, right? I spoke all the points. So the summary, again, the starting and the summary, both plays a very important role. I'm not saying that the person who is starting and the person who is ending will only get the point. It depends upon the content also, that what content the beginner and the summing up, the person who is summarizing everything is bringing, that also matters. But yes, they give extra point to the person who are taking the platform, are taking on the table. They give extra points to them if the content is also good. So never miss the opportunity. I don't know whether you students do that thing or not. But yes, when I was in my college days, we always used to fight for the last sip, last bite. We used to believe that is always good. The last sip of the juice, the last bite of the food. We used to fight for that. Yes. So same
Yes.
way, that last minute, no, is very important. The how you are summarizing. Again, the last thing is always best. The first and the last.
Yeah.
For example, if we are talking about pizza, the first, as soon as it comes on table, if we eat, it's very yummy. But if we are going to wait for it, the taste is gone, right? That happens with the discussion also. Initial beginning and ending should always be strong. Even in interviews, your first round, the introduction round, that should be strong. And your HR discussion should also be a very solid one, right? Because your introduction will give you the second round, and your salary discussion, the HR round, is going to give you the salary, right? That is going to decide your salary. So again, both the things are very important. So it is for everything. Okay, yes, we have discussed about 2 points, that is reasoning skills and communication skills. The other points, that is content and all other points, we'll be discussing in the next session of group discussion, right? Yes, we'll be starting with one more topic again. Every time we have group discussion, we'll be starting with a discussion topic and then we'll be going with the content.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so we are done with today's session. See you at 4:30. Yesterday we have class at 4:30, not at 4:50. There's a change in the time.
We had the class.
Sorry?
Yesterday we had any class?
No, not yesterday. Today.
Okay.
Yesterday we didn't have. Today we have a class at 4:30. Okay.
Tomorrow, ma'am?
Tomorrow morning session is not there. Evening, somewhere around 3 o'clock, it's going to be there. Right? Tomorrow again, there will be some change in the timing. By the end of the day, you will get I'll update in the group which all sessions are there and at what time. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. There was. I just tried to give answer to one question, ma'am. Internshala. They were asking for this internships and all. So in digital marketing, I just tried applying it. So they asked, why should we hire you? There was a company who was teach under training thing, ma'am. So I replied that I'm Balmukha Mishra. First I started with I'm so
Wait,
great that you
Balmukun,
gave me this opportunity.
One second. The question was your introduction. Who are you or why should we hire you? Was the question about
why should we hire you?
Okay, and you started with your introduction.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Tell me, what did you say?
Yeah. So I said thank you for giving me this opportunity. Me myself is Balmukha Mishra. I'm a commerce background student, currently pursuing BBA. I've been doing internship from campus technology of leadership, team building, and business communication. And I have not been experienced with any other companies or any other work. But whatever I'll learn, I'll give my 100% to it. So I hope whatever I'm going to learn with you, I'll make sure I'll give my 100% to it. Thank you. It was a short one. I just had this much to say.
Balmukun, you have mixed two things together. You have mixed your introduction along with why should we hire you. Now, if we talk about why should we hire you, you need to tell about your experience. That was right. You told about your leadership things and all those things. Now, you didn't talk about your abilities, like what you can do, what are things you know, that you have not discussed about that.
Okay.
Like you have not, see, it was very general thing which you have told, but when it comes to why should we hire you, uh, it's a opportunity which the interviewer is giving you to shortlist you. Okay. Okay. So there you need to be very specific. You need to show your own abilities. You need to show your own qualities.
Okay.
Right. You'll have to work. You are mixed with two different things. You'll work on that. Do one thing, Balmukund. Prepare your introduction first. Okay.
Okay.
Just get ready with your introduction.
Okay.
Share your introduction with me. Once it's done, then we'll go to the next question. Why should we hire you? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'll
So
do it.
in this,
I'll send
just
it.
one thing I'll suggest, you need to tell your qualification and your skills, both the things in related to the job description, that both these things, how my qualities and my skills are going to be helpful for your company. That you need to tell them and that you need to convince them.
Okay.
Okay, actually you just need to sell yourself to them. I'm always telling you, when it comes to interview, they just want you to sell yourself to them.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, just
Okay.
prepare that and share that with me. We'll then work with that. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Bye bye. Take
Bye,
care.
ma'am.
Bye.